What's up? Welcome inside Cameron Indoor Stadium after a 66-60 victory for the Blue Devils' revenge against the Syracuse Orange, along with Andrew Beaton of the Chronicle. I'm Danny Nolan of DSB Sports. And Andrew, when you look at this game, you have to start with the last couple of minutes. It was loud as can be in this stadium, and for a good reason, Duke gets the victory.
It was really only fitting that this ended on a controversial call the way it did when they were up in Syracuse. Rodney Hood, in overtime, Duke is down one, goes in for a dunk, looks like he's fouled, the refs don't call it. This time CJ Fair drives, Rodney Hood plants for the charge. They call the charge, not the block. It really could have gone either way, just like the call up there. This time Duke got the call after not getting it up there. Duke wins.
And so Boeheim kicked out of the game as a result of complaining to the referees. But other things you talk about in this game are the poor shooting from the outside. Again, for Duke, only 33% from three-point range. However, they get it done in the interior, and they end up winning a low-scoring affair.
And it's really interesting. In the first game, Syracuse, one of the best defensive teams in the country, but both teams really scored at will up there. Down here, Duke looked like one of the best defensive teams in the country, and Syracuse did too, even though hasn't been Duke's trademark this year. But Duke was able to get it done late. They made a switch in the middle of the game, putting Rodney Hood up at the foul line, so he was able to help break down the zone. Duke got some buckets. They won.
And lastly, when you look at this game, Andrew, the crowd, as I mentioned already, raucous as can be, loud from the very start of the game to the end. K-Ville was abuzz today, all day long. All the students were there. When you look back at your time at Duke, you're a senior here. Where does this game rank as far as the games that you've attended?
You know, the game it really most reminded me of was the Ohio State game last year when Coach K first called it Club Cameron for the really raucous atmosphere, as you were saying. And everyone loves to talk about Duke, North Carolina, but you get Duke, North Carolina every year. This was a first, and it's the first of many great Duke-Syracuse games that are to come. I think Duke fans knew that, and they really, really came out and showed their colors today. K-Ville, as you said, was going wild before the game. So they didn't even have tents. People were sleeping out on tarps for an entire week for this game. And they came in, they were as loud as they've ever been.
And so a win for Duke, much needed after that loss in Chapel Hill on Thursday night, but they beat the #1 Syracuse Orange, and they win 66-60. So once again, for Andrew Beaton, I'm Danny Nolan. We'll see you guys later.